Hey, it's Jack. So today's video is a little bit of a different one, and it's really just, you know, something that I've kind of stumbled upon recently, and I think it's very powerful. You can obviously incorporate it into your sales career or any other facet of life that you want to bring it into. But it's really about God's plan. Okay, so for a lot of my life, I wasn't very spiritual. I definitely wasn't very religious. It was kind of forced upon me at a very young age, and I kind of just spat it back out, like a lot of people. But as years have gone on, I've realized the importance of spirituality in particular. Religion, I've kind of delved into a little bit, but I think having gone through it all, I'm most sold on the idea of spirituality. And there's this concept that has really just made an impression on me recently, and it's all around God's plan. Okay, so as humans, as goal-driven creatures, we tend to overplan. We tend to overplan for the future of how life's going to look like, what we're going to do, where we're going to be, all these things. But the reality is, if you can trust God's plan, if you can trust God's plan, and I'll get into that in a minute. Well, I'll get into it now. God's plan is more glorious, more incredible, more remarkable, more superb, more impactful, meaningful, fulfilling, more blessed than you can ever imagine, more abundant. And the list goes on. I could sit here all day because I truly believe it. So really what this video is it's a reminder that if things aren't going according to plan in your life right now, I've had certain things where put in a lot of work this year, and all of a sudden things have changed. And initially I was like, oh man, like, did I really just waste all of that time and all that energy and sacrifice for nothing? And then I came across this concept. I don't even know how I came across it. It was more, like a higher power that gave me the download that, you know, I'm fine. This is part of God's plan. Because God will steer you, and he works in the most incredible ways, where in the moment in your 3D world it'll seem like everything is falling to pieces. But really what that is it's God steering you to the path that he has planned for you, a greater path than you can ever imagine, a life and a reality that's more magnificent than you can ever imagine. That's him creating the circumstances so that you can live God's plan. And when you trust this, when you fully have faith in this, you stop over planning. You stop doubting certain things. You stop questioning certain things as much. And if you truly learn to trust God's plan, it's one of the most empowering feelings in the world. Truly. So that's really that's really it for today's video. It's a short one, but it's super important. And if you're also going through a similar phase right now where things seem to kind of be falling to pieces, just know that in the heart of hearts, if you trust God's plan, this phase that you're going through is part of that plan. And it's going to bring you to a higher high, to a more magnificent reality than you could ever imagine. Okay, and the final thing I'll leave you with is you can actually speak to God. And this might seem a bit wacky. Sorry, I'm just going to drink some water. This might seem a bit far-fetched, but you can actually speak to God, okay? And it was only after reading the book Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh that I actually realized that we all have this ability within us to speak to that higher power, to our creator. And again, whether you're religious or not, it doesn't matter. This stuff works. You know, anyone that I've met in business that's become a multimillionaire, achieved incredible things, they're all spiritual. Like, I haven't met anyone that doesn't have a spiritual connection that's done incredible things. So it's something that you have to get over in your own ego, I feel, to transcend to that next level. You know, I haven't met many atheists that have gone on to live not only successful lives financially, but also from a fulfillment standpoint. Like, I think I can't imagine going through life and not having a connection with God now that I have one. So it's a case of getting over your own ego if it sounds too far fetched. At least that's what it was in my case. But you can speak to God. You can have very clear conversations with God, get answers to things that you're questioning, and He'll tell you. It might not be a clear answer, but that comes down to the way you ask. And you can actually ask that by saying, "Thank you, God, for making your answers so simple and clear to understand." So you can actually, request that in your questions. And the way to speak to God is by saying thank you. It's not by saying please. It's not, which ultimately emits a frequency of need and want, two things that God doesn't respond well to. So the key to it all is starting every question and every prayer with the words thank you, because then you're coming from a place of gratitude. And to he who has, much is given. Okay, so yeah, that's really it for today's video. It's a bit of a different one, but I feel like my connection to God has got very strong recently, to the point where I trust His plan more than my own. And yeah, it's given me a lot of peace, a lot of empowerment. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, if you found this video valuable or helpful in any way, appreciate it if you can like, subscribe, drop a comment. If you drop a comment, I'll be sure to reply. Thanks.